Greetings, Portal Master. I am Eon, and I have come to guide you on a great journey. Welcome to Skylands, a magical world of wonder and adventure, protected by the greatest heroes ever known, the Skylanders.
Every year the Skylanders team somehow surprise me. Even in the year 2014 I expect games aimed at children to be average or worse, yet every single year Activision have released a Skylanders game that is entertaining for all ages. And to hell with my street cred, those toys are still cool and I'd have loved them growing up. Where they once relied on the Spyro name to sell a new franchise, Skylanders have taken upon a life of their own. With the new consoles now on the market, they've even taken a visual leap, as Trap Team looks gorgeous. The colourful imagery is everywhere and it's the antithesis of so many modern games. It's vibrant and the action pops off the screen for all to see like an explosion of sugar and sweets. But the basics of Skylanders are now set in stone. Since Swap Force introduced a jump button, there's not a huge amount that feels missing, though I'd still like to see camera control and online multiplayer at some point in the future. You still go to levels, move objects about, go up lifts and attack everything that isn't nailed down. So really it falls to whoever comes up with the toy ideas to create something new and interesting that will make us want to collect them all over again. And initially it seemed an odd idea too, the ability to trap your enemies and have them fight for you. Requires a new portal? Uh-oh, this doesn't sound good, right? Luckily, the joy these simple touches bring to a child are better in action than they sound on paper, and create a whole new way to play and explore. The basic concept is that you have traps that you insert into the portal, and you can capture enemies instead of killing them, and there are around 40 to trap. Once captured, you hit the L2 button and your Skylander will be swapped out for the baddie. Grunt-wise, this is amusing, but it's when you start taking down the bosses that it gets really interesting. Of course, the characters are all daft, and they're mostly for comedic value, but the first boss you fight, a weird little man who controls the chompies, is enough of a challenge that doesn't resort to simple button mashing, and rewarding because you'll get to trap him and then use him against other enemies. Speaking of difficulty, while it's not overly taxing, and there are hard battles though, it's not too easy either. It's as well balanced as you'd hope. Thankfully, traps are reusable and you can go to a larger trap and swap out villains at your leisure, though obviously only one character can be in a trap at any given time. The portal talks to you as well and the bad guys will comment on things as you play along. Having a sheep creep bar at you randomly doesn't get old, and Chompy Mage never stops being annoyed that he's incarcerated.
No, pick me! I'm the champ of Chomp!
You can't play as them forever though, and each time you swap one out you can only use them for a limited time, with damage taken reducing that time. What's especially interesting is that the variation in attacks means you can have a Skylander on the portal that shoots, thus has ranged attacks, and then swap to a trapped villain that is more melee based. And there's a raft of new toys to collect. New Skylanders, Series 4, and now traps as well, and each trap is specific to an element, so you can't use a life trap to capture an earth enemy. It might seem cynical, but as with the previous games locking off areas to certain elemental Skylanders, it's merely an extension of that idea, and there is no shortage of content, with wave-based modes like Doom Challenge and Arena Battle giving additional things to do outside the main campaign. The hard truth is that you're going to want to collect them anyway. I'm sorry you had to hear that, but you knew it deep inside. As always, your previous Skylanders work on the new portal, and they keep their levels and skills from other games. It's a small thing to note really, but one that is continually worth mentioning. Chaos returns as you'd expect, and this time there's a band of evildoers, possibly more villainous than him. His plans to undermine them secretly so they fail and turn to him as the one true king of evil. Being a bumbling fool, I'll let you guess how that goes. It's full of charm, and the voice acting is excellent with returning characters everywhere. And like The Simpsons, well, the older Simpsons anyway, there's plenty for all to laugh at, and even some more cheeky nods to older audience members. Some of the toys themselves will make you laugh. For example, Chopper is a small dinosaur with a helicopter on his back, and Food Fight is a small green chap that has a gun that shoots tomatoes. It makes no sense, but it also makes complete sense. There are minis to collect too, and the giant called Eyebrawl is now called Eye Small. Such a silly name change, yet for some reason it really tickles me. It's weird to think that with the fourth game, Skylanders has fully earned my trust. Games aimed at children don't have to be rubbish, and they can engage with them on multiple levels. As well as the game itself, the toys are highly collectible still, and they have even got trading cards that come with each toy. I harp on about this because it's true, but as a kid, the Skylanders would have been the coolest thing I could have imagined in game form, and the quality every year stays high. And while the toys aren't cheap, and jumping in here, because the new starter pack only has 2 Skylanders and has 2 traps, it means you're going to probably want to get a few extra toys right out of the gate. But Toys for Bob continue to hold fun in the highest regard, and that's worth championing. But Lord knows where they go next.
Infamous evildoers are on the loose again. It is up to you and your Skylanders to track them down before it is too late. A great adventure awaits you, Portal Master. Behold,